This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Yeah, it's a brand new day. Just give that dream some wings. You make me wanna dance, take a chance. Show up at the party and they give you that glance. VIP, you're looking so fancy. You know you wanna burn. 'Cause you're a candle in the dark. Every beat of your heart makes you burn. Glowing like a star, show 'em who you are. Just let your body rock like you never wanna stop like. I like the way you're moving that thing. I like the way you're dropping that bass. You mix me up just like a DJ. Just let your body rock like you never wanna stop like. You know we bring the party. You know you wanna. You know we bring the party.
Following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it, I know it, and we all talk about it because that's what we do. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today's Tuesday, January the 14th of 2025, day 14th of the year, and only 351 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Yep, hanging out with our friends at Radio Big is kind of what we do. It is our thingo, no doubt about that, as we are hanging out and talking and doing all of the stuff that we get to do. So how are you? How has the last 24 hours or so been? Anything fun, anything exciting, anything that you want to brag about, because you have time to do that. But if you want to do that, go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. It'll give you all the kind of opportunity of doing all the stuff that we just talked about. Anyways, you can text message, video message, audio message. I always tell people, if you do anything on the social media platforms, that's great. I am just terrible at checking it. That's just really what it boils down to. So there you go. But you do have some options there. So a lot of stuff going on as we are hanging out and doing our thing. No doubt about that. So let's talk about what our show consists of. Our show consists of safety and the news and safety if you're new here. If you're not new here, you know that, and that's probably why you've come back. So we are a radio show that's on a podcast network that's also just some kind of video streaming. Yeah, that is the breakdown of the land of everything that we do. Kind of how it goes about. So not a problem there as we are talking. Anyways, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnights?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as we talk about the trends of the ends, because that's always going to be an important aspect of everything that we are doing, no doubt about that whatsoever. So let's talk about this because, hey, why would we not talk about some of this stuff? I mean, I don't know. So here's what's on the trend. Another Chinese app steps in for TikTok, and a more bad news for LA's mayor. So we'll talk about that here in a bit. Also, another Diddy accuser comes forward, and Caitlin Clark's stalker is arrested. We'll talk about that as we get into show business. Yeah, I don't know how Caitlin Clark flies under show business because that's more of a sporting thing, but we'll leave it at that for that one. Also, in some other news, Sunny Hostin defends her husband, and Macy Gray is a poor loser. Yeah, I said poor loser. I don't see the thing here, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. Also, conflicting reports for the circumstances of Meghan Markle's new show's delay, and we'll talk about that as we get into the Royals. The Royals. Yeah, no doubt there. So, with that being said, I have some professional broadcasters, not me, because I said professional broadcasters waiting to talk to you about everything that is going on inside of their world. So if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. We can bring them in and let them talk their hearts away about everything that is going on in this thing that we call the world, because that's kind of the way that it looks. So let's do that. Let's bring them in right now and let them tell you about what the hell is going on with the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. There are growing signs a ceasefire deal in Gaza could soon be agreed. Negotiators are meeting in Qatar on Tuesday to discuss a draft agreement which the US says would see a gradual release of hostages by Hamas and a phased withdrawal by Israel from parts of Gaza. It would also allow more aid into the region after months of conflict. Jerusalem-based journalist Noga Tarnopolsky says an agreement may be close.
At least on the Israeli side, it seems that Israel in the last few days, really 2 days, 3 days, has agreed to some compromises that it simply had been kicking around since, it's important to note, since Joe Biden first announced this basic draft of a deal back in May of last year, May 27th of last year.
Reports found Donald Trump engaged in an unprecedented criminal effort to overturn the 2020 US election results. Special counsel Jack Smith says the incoming president would have been charged if he had not been re-elected in November. Donald Trump says the findings are fake and Jack Smith is deranged. South Korea's military says North Korea has test-fired several short-range missiles. It comes after South Korea reported Pyongyang launched a missile last week. Rebecca Bunden reports.
South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff say the ballistic missiles flew some 250 kilometres before they landed in the waters between Japan and the Korean peninsula. It says that it strongly condemns the test. This is the second launch by North Korea this year, after last week it tested what it said was a new hypersonic intermediate-range missile designed to hit remote targets in the Pacific. There are concerns about North Korea further advancing its technology as it strengthens its ties with Russia. Rebecca Bunden, Tokyo.
India has summoned Bangladesh's acting High Commissioner to stress that its construction of fences in border territories is legal. Tensions between India and Bangladesh are simmering, with Dhaka accusing Delhi of provoking tensions in border areas. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
India says its construction of fences in the border region is legal and in line with protocols and mutually agreed border agreements. Dhaka has called these actions unauthorized, signaling the new Muhammad Yunus-led administration in Bangladesh may be reconsidering border pacts with India. Bangladesh's Home Affairs advisor in the interim government says the previous Awami League government provided India unequal opportunities to set up defense infrastructure along the border. India argues it reserves the right to protect its border, especially to counter cross-border crimes and to stem illegal immigrations. Delhi-Dhaka ties dipped to a new low after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled to India last year. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at calls by the London-based Islamic Human Rights Commission for Holocaust Memorial Day commemorations to be boycotted later this month. The group, which enjoys consultative status with the UN's Economic and Social Council, has sent a letter to 460 town halls and educational centres across Britain saying it is morally unacceptable for the commemorations to go ahead on January the 27th at a time when the Israeli war against Hamas in Gaza is not branded a genocide by the UK. Karen Pollock is Chief Executive of the Holocaust Educational Trust.
Holocaust Memorial Day, specifically this year, 80 years on since the Holocaust, since the liberation of the camps, is hugely important. We're talking about what was a defining episode in history, 6 million Jewish men, women and children murdered by the Nazis. It's really disappointing. It's really upsetting when you hear that others are suggesting we boycott such an important day, that somehow this should be broadened out to talk about other events going on today that have nothing to do with the Holocaust.
But the Islamic Human Rights Commission, which is aligned with Iran, argues that failure to recognise Gaza as a site of genocide is tantamount to silence in the face of profound injustice. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, there are growing signs a ceasefire deal in Gaza could soon be agreed. Reports found Donald Trump engaged in an unprecedented criminal effort to overturn the 2020 US election results. He says it's fake. South Korea's military says North Korea's test-fired several short-range missiles, and India's summoned Bangladesh's acting High Commissioner to stress its construction of fences in border territories is legal. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you
after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com. For more information, lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
Safety never sounded so terrible.
Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
In order to save the planet from cow farts, why doesn't someone just invent really large gas X pills?
God, what's that awful stench? Radio.
Okay, so here we go. Currently 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely, lovely Tuesday, because that's what it is. That is what it is. It is a lovely day, a lovely Tuesday, as we get to do all the stuff. So let's start talking right away about what the hell's going on, because I think that that's going to be important. With just days until the Supreme Court decides the fate. Hold on. Just until days where the Supreme Court decides the fate of TikTok. Yeah, I said that. Okay, so a new social media app has rocketed up the top of the App Store, and it too has its own Chinese. It's owned by its own Chinese company. I am going to butcher this. There is no doubt. Xiaga Shu. Yeah, Xiaga Shu offers a familiar interface most mainstream social media apps does, with the profiles to follow and suggested interest. While the app is new, having rolled out over, or isn't new because it's been rolled out over the last decade ago, it's provided a landing spot for Americans preemptively bailing on TikTok. And it translates to little red book is really what the wording does. So they're just laughing at us now. But for English speakers, a branded red note, which really isn't much better. This is according to The Verge. So I guess some options are coming about. If you kind of start thinking about it, I don't know if they're going to be good options, but there will be options. I mean, I understand that some people are very heartbroken about this whole thing when it comes to TikTok, of it possibly being gone. But I mean, I don't know. I think that somebody will probably end up stepping in at the last moment. And believe me, I'm not a future predictor at any point. But do you really think ByteDance is going to say just shut it down and not try to sell it off to somebody? I don't know. What kind of proprietary technology will be there that they don't want the world to know about? Because that's going to be the other standpoint of the whole thing.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so yeah, pitfalling and spitballing, no doubt about that. Police officers pulled a coyote out of a cold food section of an Aldi's, or like some people like to say, an Aldi, in Chicago. Yeah. On Monday, shoppers were shocked to see the large animal hiding behind the shelves, expecting officers to pull out something much smaller. But, such like a possum or a squirrel, but that was quite not the case when it was all said and done. So, yeah, some people were freaky icky. Yeah, some freaky ickiness when it was all said and done. And yeah, I have to tell you, as I look at this thing, let's see. They're poking this thing. I mean, of course, if you're on the radio, you're not seeing this. They're poking this thing.
Watch out, guys! Watch out!
Whoa! This thing's giant. I mean, they're poking this thing. I don't know. I don't even know how they were able to manage to pull it because it's the size of a medium, like a Labrador Retriever. Yeah, that's probably like the average size of what that thing was showing. Yeah. So yeah, good luck there. Anyways, federal agents were spotted outside Ben Affleck's home over the weekend, though the reason why is unclear. Sources told TMZ that the officers were in the area investigating an incident involving a drone colliding with a firefighter aircraft. Affleck was seen outside of his home on Saturday after evacuating last week to ex-wife Jennifer Garner's home to be with their kids, is according to TMZ. So there you go. What else do we got? Beyonce's foundation, Baygood, is donating $2.5 million to support Los Angeles wildfires relief efforts, specifically those affected by the Eaton fire. As for why the specific focus on the blaze, insiders say that the Eaton fire hit the Altadena historical black neighborhood with a number of black-owned businesses destroyed by the inferno. This is according to THR. Elsewhere, David Spade is offering $5,000 to anyone who catches and reports the arsonist in and around L.A. This is according to Page 6. Now, there was something circulating yesterday, and the problem is that it was not vetted enough to say if it was true or not, but some are claiming that this was arson, that there's a video that it was arson that caused this, and some insurance policies say that if it's arson related, they do not cover it. So I don't know how true that is, but I'm giving you info that's making the word. So we have to vet it because it's still just general info. Not sure how true it is, so there you go. Also, the Grammys will for now still take place on February the 2nd at Crypto.com Arena. Despite the ongoing devastation from the LA wildfires, a host has not been announced by the Recording Academy. This is according to Billboard. In other news, the Oscars timeline has been delayed for a second time out of sensitivity for the SoCal community, which is home to about 60% of the roughly 10,000 members. The 97th Academy Award is still set for March the 2nd, but the nomination voting window has been extended from, January the 14th to January the 17th. Nominations will be announced sometime on January the 23rd, delayed from the previously postponed date of January the 19th. So, a lot of stuff going on in that section, and you might have noticed that probably over the last few episodes, we've been talking mostly about Hollywood starting off, and people go, well, that's not really why I'm here. Well, we're starting off there because there's so much stuff that's going on that section. So that is the reasoning behind it. So just understand that is the point on why we are starting there, opposed to starting with, some other major news stories. So just keep that in mind as we are going. Anyways, take a listen to this. Elon Musk says that a third person has successfully been implanted with Neuralink system, which allows a patient to control a computer with their mind. During an interview, a live stream on his own X account, Musk also says that he hopes to add up about 30 people for the trials of the system before the end of the year. While Musk's wealth and fame draw particular attention to Neuralink, there are more than 45 active trials with similar technology currently underway in the United States. This is according to the New York Post. So if you're familiar or not familiar with Neuralink, Neuralink is an implanted chip that goes into the brain, and that's how they have you be able to interact with stuff. Now, it does promise some very good things in the future, but keep in mind that there's still trials going on. But I want you to think about some other side effects here. I am sure that the majority of the people that have hung out here have taken a listen to or taken a little viewing of one of the Matrix movies or have a general concept of what it is. If you think about that jack system that's in the back of their head, I don't know if that's, the severity of the stuff that we'll get to at some point. But it makes it pretty interesting when you start thinking about the grand picture of stuff. Think about that for a moment. Think about how that would end up working, because that's going to be pretty interesting overall. When it's all said and done. And maybe I'm thinking too much of the dystopian future stuff. But, that's kind of how my brain works sometimes when it comes to some of these things. It would be kind of cool to see some of this stuff, but who knows? So there you go. Anyways, discount airline Ryanair is openly calling for the European Union regulators to limit how much flyers can drink before taking to the skies. Yeah, that would probably be important. While the carrier can cut off passengers on board, they have no say about what happens before the people get on the plane. During a flight delays, passengers are consuming excess alcohol at the airport without any limits of purchase or consumption, a company rep tells the Manchester Evening News. The public groveling follows a recent incident that required the plane to divert after a drunk passenger grew unruly with a fellow flyer and the flight crew. The itinerary change required Ryanair to foot the bill of accommodations of 160 passengers plus airport fee, adding to over $15,000. The airline is suing the disruptive drunk for the cost. This is according to the Manchester Evening News. So doesn't that get interesting as we are talking? Because, man, doesn't that make you think about some stuff? So here in the U.S., if they think that you are too drunk to get on, they will not let you on. But there you can say, let's pour it all on and go from there, because it's a different thing going on. I don't know. It makes it pretty interesting. At least it sounds that way as we are talking about it. So think about that for a moment. Okay, and some other news. The ongoing California wildfires continue to create political headaches for the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass. Just last November, the LA fire chief, Kristen Crowley, issued a memo to the city's five fire commissioners who were appointed by Bass that the department lacked manpower to do its job. The memo fretted that the fire department's headcount hadn't grown since the 1960s and still used outdated deployment model. Even without the threat of wildfires, the department failed to respond to a call within 4 minutes of the national standard at 61% of the time. Over the weekend, the memo, which had been posted in the city's website, was scrubbed. Another memo, still available, publicly published in December 4th, warned that the fire department is facing unprecedented operational challenges due to the elimination of critical civilian positions and $7 million budget cut. The developments came as Bass faces mounting criticism for traveling abroad at the outset of the fires. So, what do you think here? It gets pretty interesting. So why would so the mayor had a plan to leave, to travel, and then all of a sudden they're gone during this? Because some people are going to have some hesitation marks, because there's no other way to put it in regards to that timeline. So as you're looking at this and going through it, you have to look at this and go, okay, this is not good. If anything, it reminds me when Ted Cruz jumped off to Mexico, if you remember correctly, during everything that was going on in Texas, when all the electricity was going on because of all the frozen tundra stuff that was occurring.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyway, so let's continue talking. Actress Leslie Charleston has died. She passed away on Sunday after a lengthy illness, according to a friend. Charleston is best known for her role of Monica Quatamine in General Hospital. She was 79 at the time of her passing. Also, let's see, Patrick and Brittany Mahomes are now a family of 5. The couple welcomed their third child on Sunday, a daughter named Golden Ray. The newborn joined siblings, a sister that is 3 and one that is 2. So there you go. What else do we got going on? Do we want to talk about the sick bay? Let's talk about the sick bay. Queen Sonja of Norway was hospitalized over the weekend following a ski-related incident. What? Ski-related incident. The 87-year-old was taken to the hospital on January the 11th after experiencing a flare-up of an existing heart condition while skiing. She was discharged the following day after her heart rate returned to normal. Looking ahead, the palace insiders say that Her Majesty engagement calendar is clear, giving her ample time to rest and recoup. Holy shit, 87? And still rocking it out there at the ski resort? Hey, good for you, man. Good for you. Anyway, take a listen to this. The Dow increased by 358 points to close at 42,297 on Monday. The S&P increased by 9 points to close at 5,836, and the NASDAQ lost 73 points to close at 19,088. West Texas Intermediate closed at $78 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $80 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.06 on Monday, and Bitcoin dipped under 90,000 Monday before climbing back at $94,000 range. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $95 million jackpot, or a $41.6 million cash payout. So, if you want to play the game, you have the opportunity to do so. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Another Jane Doe has filed a lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming that he sexually assaulted her when she was underage. The accuser says in 2000, she was just 16, and she ran into the music mogul and 2 of his employees in an SUV in Manhattan. After much pressure from the men, she gave into their offer to ride home. Instead of going home, however, Combs took her to an undisclosed location and gave her a drink and left her feeling groggy and assaulted her. She claims that she was later left in a lobby of her apartment building, saying she is suing for unspecified damages and for the ongoing financial losses, physical injury, pain, and serious emotional distress. So there you go. Let me give you one more real quick. A man by the name of Michael Thomas Lewis has been arrested and charged with felony stalking after sending threatening and sexual violent messages to basketball star Caitlin Clark. The 55-year-old was taken into custody on Sunday after traveling from his home in Texas to Indianapolis, where Clark's WNBA team is based. Been driving around your house 3 times a day, one of the messages read, while another said, I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting right behind the bench. Lewis will appear in court on the matter, according to the New York Post. He will be in court today. So there you go. There you go. Man, what a crazy time when it comes to stuff like that. No doubt there. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our main story because it is 32 minutes past the top of the hour. So it seems like it's the right time to go ahead and do that.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, main story time as we are hanging out on this lovely Tuesday and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do. No doubt about that. So listen, I know new year, new me, new whatever, the stuff that people say, the stuff that happens, the stuff that people go, there is no better time to talk about some of these things, but is there or is there not? But let's talk about this. I don't know how traditional some of the stuff is that you do in your lifetime. I mean, and when I say traditional, I'm talking about that whole, I'm not going to call it malarkey because it's not malarkey, but I'm going to talk about some of that stuff that we all do, that we take a look and we go, it's a good time as we are hanging out, but what happens, and I'm talking about what happens when that traditional family standpoint goes through the holiday season, and all of a sudden, all you're focusing is family, friends, and so on. But now we get back to the standard work cycle. Yeah, standard work cycle. That's what I'm going to call it here. And you take a look around, and now all of a sudden, it's focus on work. Now, I will tell you, there are some jobs, depending on what you have going on, that require a lot of time of working. And what do I mean when I say a lot of time of working? I'm not talking about that 10-hour day. I'm not talking about the 8-hour day. I'm talking about the time that people invest that can be 12, 14, 16 hours a day. You know, those kind of jobs. And, you know, all of a sudden you take a look back and you take a look around and you go, what are you doing? What exactly is going on? Because is time for dollars as important as you think? Because you know that you're making a trade-off there. You're doing a trade-off that could be important or couldn't be important, depending on how you want to take a look at it. I mean, and some of the traveling aspects could drive you wild. So I don't know. When you sit back and take a look at this, how do you look at it? Because it has to become extremely interesting overall when it's all said and done. Because as you look at this and you say, hey, I have today worked, let's say, for instance, using the example of 14 hours. What did you do the other 10? Because the odds are you probably spent the bulk of the time sleeping. And keep in mind that previous weeks, all you did was spend time focusing on the family. So it becomes kind of that weird thing. And I know that, you know, the holiday season's important to some, you know, and they don't want to change anything. And this is why the focus on the family and all this other stuff. But what do you do to take a look around and go, life, work, balance? And I understand that certain people will sit back and tell you that if you love what you do, you don't have to focus on that because it's all, you know, just love. And some people have family businesses, and that's not a big thing for them. But some people work for other people that are gone for long periods of time because of this stuff. So is there a category that you fall under? I mean, I look at some people that work in the oil fields in particular. And those people are gone weeks at a time. Mariners that are gone months at a time. So I don't know. What is the happy medium? Especially coming off of a holiday season. What do you look at? And I know that some people are going to go, I'm not sure what exactly this has to do with anything. Think about it. All of the stuff that we do plays a factor into other things that we do. And they're all kind of coincide with each other one way, shape, or form. So dollars for hours, is that the right concept? Or what do you decide to do? Because you know how it goes. When it's all said and done, if something was to happen to you, your job will be posting something online to find a new person to replace you. Like that. I know, that's a scary thought.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to a mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Radio.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Jay Allen in the morning, weekdays on Radio Big.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Warning. Listening to other radio stations could cause testicle shrinkage.
I'm talking the truth.
Like a DJ. Just let your body rock like you never wanna stop like we bring water. You know you wanna. You know we bring the party. Just let your body rock. Go on, slide it left to right. Move it, groove it, hoop it like Mike. I can tell you really feel it on the inside, so let those feet.
Okay, you are still hanging out here on the Rated R Safety Show.
Make them all go.
Currently 44 minutes past the top of the hour.
Just let your body rock.
As we are hanging out.
You never wanna.
This right here,
I like the way you're moving that.
little Elle Sharpe,
Dropping that bass, you mix me.
Let Your Body Rock.
DJ.
Songs readily available on Spotify,
Your body rock, rock.
Apple Music,
You never wanna.
and YouTube Music. Yeah, my YouTube Music.
You know you wanna.
There you go.
The party. Just let your body.
Go out there and party it up. Give it a little streamer action. Thanks to Elle Sharpe for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about that. There you go. Yep. You know, it has some of that Kesha vibe to it. I'm not going to lie. At least in my opinion, I could be absolutely wrong. Because what the hell do I know? I'm just a dude behind a microphone somewhere. Somewhere locked up in a room. Somewhere locked up in a studio. Somewhere locked up, sometimes I would say even a closet. It seems like what it is. Okay, so let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. When you're having a tough moment or a day, it's okay to pause and take care of yourself. If you go to TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says self-care, there is a plethora of information on how you can make plans to keep your self-care efforts going in the future. And it gives you some information of connecting with your breath, on how to do some techniques there, how to make sure that you're doing your basic needs, how you can do a body scan meditation, your senses, a great space between yourself and your feelings. There's all kinds of stuff, even going as far as calling or texting a friend. And, you know, understanding that you are worthy, you are enough, and you do belong here. So, TWLOHA.com, click on the section that says self-care. Self-care. So there you go, some information for you. Let's talk real quick about some other stuff going on inside of this multiverse reality of ours. Some London, England police officers are going to start using special invisible spray to help catch phone snatchers. The Met Police and Waterloo and South Bank neighborhoods team said that all officers in its jurisdiction will be equipped with Selecta DNA spray. Yeah, Selecta DNA spray. The stuff can be used to mark the clothes, vehicles, and skin of criminals who try to steal electronic devices from people when the UV light is shown on items stained with the liquid. It shines fluorescent blue. The solution contains a unique DNA code registered to each user's canister. On its website, manufacturer Selecta DNA says that it works by spraying the offender with the invisible synthetic DNA solution, making their skin, clothing for days, weeks, and even months. The spray was developed specifically to help women feel safer in public and to secure the convictions of dangerous criminals who threatened them. In a post on X, the Meth Lambeth Northwest page said, "We will be able to tag suspects with unique identifiable liquid that stains the suspect's skins, clothes, and other will allow us to link suspects to crimes." Imagine trying to argue your way out of a crime when you're literally glowing like a human disco ball under a UV light. And that's the game. Tag your it literally. No, like seriously. So let me ask you a strange question here. If this is something you spray on someone, and let's say, for instance, they're covered. They have a hood, gloves, long sleeves, pants, whatever. And you spray them. How's that going to work? Because their skin's not going to glow. I'm just asking. Anyway, take a listen to this. A fitness club is selling the line of waterproof suits with the idea of wearers can transition from their job into a swimming pool and then back again without a wrinkle. David Lloyd Clubs, which is Europe's leading health and wellness group, according to the website, produced garments after hearing from members who said that they struggle to fit exercise into their busy work days. The waterproof swimsuit collection with items for both men and women is made from special water-resistant hydrophobic fabric. Each garment takes more than 3 weeks to create. A company spokesperson said the 20 minutes or so to get ready and showered after exercising can eat into your time. Now you can even you don't even need to do that. So there you go. That's something to think about. And you can straight go into the pool and then back to your desk in a matter of seconds. The collection is expected to be available soon. Unfortunately, you'll still have to rent a locker for your phone. Yeah, most phones can take some good water damage. Just saying there. Anyways, with that being said, we're almost close to that 50-minute mark. So let's go ahead and bring some John Smalls into our life, because he is such an important aspect of what we do around here that I love when he starts talking about giving us some motivation, at least in a minute or so, if you know what I'm saying there. Here you go. Here's some John Smalls.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Wade. Confucius said, "Life is really simple, but men insist on making it complicated." That's true. I'm going to add women. Sorry, ladies. My wife and I have worked together for 15 years. So we live together and we work together. So almost every decision we make is a decision that we make together. Whether it's a decision for the home, like what color to paint a wall, or a decision for work, like, where we should have our office. We work together to make these decisions. We also make most of them way more difficult than needed. She asked me to choose between 2 colors for a wall. Then she painted it. And a week later, she painted it again, the other color. Yeah.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your motivational quotes can be submitted for an upcoming program at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. No matter how grim the world situation looks at this present time, we can rest in the certain knowledge that the kingdom of God will ultimately triumph. Good will overcome evil. Truth will triumph. Righteousness will displace unrighteousness, and love will conquer evil. If you doubt this, perhaps you should reread Daniel 2, especially that part about a rock not made by human hands. Daniel put it like this: "The God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever." This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of a mountain. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
The Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza under Hamas administration reported that 46,006 individuals have lost their lives in Gaza since the conflict with Israel erupted on October 7, 2023.
The ministry also confirmed that the number of injured has climbed to 109,378. At least 70 people were killed in the last 24 hours alone, with an additional 104 injured as Israeli strikes continued across the territory. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces announced they have identified the remains of a hostage, Yosef al-Zaidani, and are working to determine the identity of a second set of remains. Benjamin Wright reporting.
More than a dozen people are feared dead, with Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna indicating the toll is likely to increase as wildfires continue to wreak havoc across Southern California amid intense dry winds.
Thousands of firefighters are engaged in battling at least 5 major blazes around the Los Angeles area. The Palisades fire, the largest, has already scorched over 21,000 acres and destroyed thousands of buildings. Another significant fire, the Eaton Fire in Altadena, has grown to over 13,000 acres, exacerbating the destruction in the region. Liam White reporting.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, visited the Pasadena Convention Center on Friday, extending their support to victims and first responders affected by the catastrophic wildfires tearing through Los Angeles.
The couple actively participated by distributing food packages and engaging with evacuees at the center, which has become a critical evacuation hub for displaced residents. Working alongside volunteers, Meghan and Harry handed out essential supplies to affected families. They also spent time speaking with emergency personnel involved in firefighting efforts across the region. Jessica Oakley reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Ukraine has reportedly captured 2 North Korean soldiers who were wounded while fighting on behalf of Russia, Ukrainian President Zelensky confirmed on Saturday.
The 2 soldiers were taken into custody in the Kursk Oblast, a Russian region bordering Ukraine, Zelensky stated in a detailed post on X. I want to commend the bravery of Tactical Group Number 84 of the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and our paratroopers who successfully captured these individuals, Zelensky wrote. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
Scammers have stolen millions of dollars in cryptocurrency from job seekers in a sophisticated remote work fraud scheme, New York Attorney General Letitia James announced.
James revealed that she has filed a lawsuit to recover over $2 million allegedly stolen from victims in New York and across the country. According to her office, the scammers targeted people with unsolicited texts, offering fake remote jobs that claim to involve reviewing products online to produce market data. Lawrence Keller reporting.
California's devastating wildfires have sparked incredible acts of kindness, with residents stepping up to protect their neighborhoods.
In Hollywood, several Good Samaritans sprang into action when embers ignited a palm tree above an evacuated home. Using a Ring camera, neighbors sought permission to climb onto the roof and extinguish the flames before they could reach the house, preventing what could have been catastrophic damage. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Freeform radio never sounded this great. Or has it? Radio Big.
Well, maybe it has, and we just have never realized it. There you go. 55 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this day. Back in 2019, according to the U.S. National Safety Council, Americans' chances of dying from an accidental opioid overdose are higher than a car accident for the first time. The group calculates that the chance of dying from opioid overdose increased by 1 in 96, surpassing the odds of dying in a car accident of 1 in 103. It is also greater odds that of dying from a fall, a gunshot, and a pedestrian accident or a drowning. So there you go. That was back in 2019. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, we got some of those for you. Casey Gutserson turns 35. Tom Rosenthal turns 37. Matt Riddle turns 39. Caleb Followell turns 43. Jason Bateman turns 56. Dave Grohl, 56 as well. LL Cool J, 57. Kerry Green, 58. Dan Schreider turns 59. Steve Soderbergh turns 62. Holland Taylor turns 82. And Faye Dunaway turns, 84 today. If you're looking at some things to talk about in regards of what is going on, there you go. That's some info for you if you're taking a look. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, it's National Dress Up Your Pet Day and World Logic Day. Yeah, because the world needs some more logic. That is for sure, as we are talking. If you need a random joke for today, my housekeeping style can best be described as there appears to have been a struggle. I think it's a good style. It just depends on what you're looking at there. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What is your best story from a wedding? And 4 weddings and a funeral should not be it. Just saying. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. 20% of us do this immediately after a breakup. What is it? Unfriend or unfollow your ex. So there you go. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that people do that. The one that I like is when you're having a heated argument with your significant other, and then they do the social media of clicking the button that says take a break. I will tell you, I remember I was in a relationship where I think I got back with the person a few times, and it was the unfollow, follow. So I think we've been friends for 3 minutes the last time I checked. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together at the top of the hour. I will be going over to radiobig.fm solely for the next couple hours, playing music, talking about entertainment stuff, all that kind of fun stuff. You can come over and hang out with me if you'd like to do so. If you don't, that's perfectly fine as well. You can hang out on Safety FM and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So the options are definitely yours, depending on what you want to do. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. No doubt about that. Anyways, if I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow's is ours to win or lose. Think about that. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
Your heart makes you burn, 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 burn. Glowing like a star, show 'em who you are. Just let your body rock, rock like you never wanna stop, stop like I like the way you're moving that.